My name is Tam, joined by my lovely co-host, Erin Shimoni.
Hey.
And today, I kind of wanted to do like a reminiscing episode a little bit. And what I mean by that is, you know, you asked a really good question in one of our last episodes that's really got me kind of like thinking like, and the question I'm thinking of is, if we could go back in time, right, and start this whole podcast over again, and fast forward to now, like, do you think you would do anything differently? Do you feel like the progression, because I feel like our season 1 and season 2 kind of have different vibes.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
And we're getting close to wrapping up season 2. I think you even made a comment. I don't even say yes as much anymore.
True. I agree.
Who is that, Tamara?
I think our energy's changed a little bit, and we can dive in. We'll probably dive into that more in our finale episode. But no, it's such a great question. And you know, when I think about where we started and where we are now, I feel like I'm a totally different person in a lot of ways.
I agree.
And I think you agree too, for yourself. And we see that in each other. And I think I started reflecting on the hobbies that have really stuck with me, that I'm really still doing like all the time, that really truly bring me joy. And how did I find those, and how did I get to the place I am now, that I really have found some sustainable things that really truly bring me joy. And I feel when I go back to when we started, and I think my first few couple hobbies was the sourdough bread making. I tried playing guitar. I took some guitar lessons. Tried to learn piano on my own. And I don't think I would do anything differently. When I picked those hobbies originally, I was in a bad headspace, right? And these were things that I kind of always wanted to try, but I didn't have the time or the mental energy to do it. But we started the podcast, and so it kind it forced me into it a little bit.
Yeah, it was like accountability.
Yeah, exactly.
That was what we designed it for.
Yeah, exactly. And so my advice, if somebody was starting, I would do the exact same thing again. Because I think that when you're in a place where you don't have hobbies, you want a hobby, or you need something more to bring you joy in your life, you just have to start. It doesn't necessarily matter where you start, as long as you start. And you can start small, you can, whatever you're comfortable with. But I think it really, truly is like a snowball effect of you get the ball rolling, and then each time you do something, I felt like I learned something about myself, and I think you'd agree about that. Sourdough bread making definitely helped me with like perfectionism. I think trying piano and guitar was something I always wanted to do, and I thought, I'd really like it, and I ended up not really liking it. And then so it kind of helped me to find my intuition a little bit, and you know, each time like guided me down a different path. And so I think that's my advice, is like, just start. Just start with something. Don't overthink it.
Right. I think that's great advice. But I really do want to kind of go back to just like you and your personal journey, because you were right. Like, if I really think back about your headspace in like season 1 and like those early stages to now, like, I would say you probably had the biggest transition in this podcast, because you're right. In the beginning, like, our idea of like what the podcast was going to look like was like, you know, like dirty jobs, where it was like we were going to try different hobbies and then just report on them, and then it was just going to be this thing, right? But then it kind of morphed into more of like a storytelling of who we were as people. And I agree. I think in the beginning, for you, it was like, I don't enjoy the whole just try all the hobbies and then report back on it. That was not speaking to you. But you were right. You had hobbies that were in your mind that you did want to try, and you're glad that you got that opportunity to do those things. But that was not where you found your success in this hobby journey. Right. I think you found your success in being more intuitive to who you are. Like you said, like you started listening to yourself more, which prior to that, I think you were just on full throttle business woman, dentist, taking care of family, and just pushing forward, really. You were just pushing forward through life.
Yeah, I think we both were. Yep, absolutely.
And so, you know, eventually, I think for you, it just turned into like just really listening to who you are and what you wanted. And then you found, you took the biggest plunge of all, right? By eventually selling your practice and really just pursuing what brought you joy in life. do you feel that in season 2, because but no, let's keep going with this, because now in season 2, I feel like we are finding more Erin hobby episodes.
Yeah.
Like you have been trying new things.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you kind of did a bit of a circle a little bit on that side of things.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that I've found stuff that I'm is much more sustainable, that I really truly enjoy, versus just trying random things. And I don't know. I think I found that fun in life that I was missing, you know? And I think when you open your mind up to that, the possibilities, or you change your mental, you just become more positive in your brain. It just opens up a lot more doors, and it's, just more willingness to do things. Yeah.
I wish that sourdough wasn't your first one that you ever did.
Maybe I'll revisit it someday.
Maybe if I could offer something I wish was different. I wish it was sourdough. But, maybe we could say, like, to try to put a positive spin on it, is like that's a testament to don't pursue a hobby just because that's a trendy thing to do, or because it seems like that's what your peers are doing. So you must like it, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just, try something that you actually genuinely, personally feel like you would enjoy, and start there, as opposed to what's the trendy thing. But we kind of even said, like, when we were first trying to find hobbies, the only thing we could find was what was trendy, because we really didn't know where to look.
Yeah, it's harder to think outside the box when you're just starting, and that's okay to start with just common things, and you figure out, do you like being with other people, or do you not? Do you like things that are hands-on or crafty, or do you like things that are more like mental? I don't know. There's lots of different avenues, and each time you can kind of reflect on what it is that you like. I think that's a really important piece of it, right? And, I think it's never really about like the specific hobby. It's more about how it makes you feel and what you get out of it. And they're just such a great entry point into finding that fun in life.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. I love that. Your story just makes me, and maybe it's just because I'm your friend, but like I really do feel like so honored to have like been on the journey of watching you progress in this journey, because like I feel like you took like the biggest leap in all of this, and really came out like positive and happy, and had done the right steps to get you there. And I don't think that I don't want to say I don't think, because I think you're very smart, and you're very very self-aware, and I think you are so motivated to take care of your family and your loved ones and yourself that I think eventually you would have got there.
Maybe.
I think it just know. You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I would have been a lot. It's the path of least resistance is always the easiest, and like it would have been a lot easier in the short term, like to just keep grinding it out. Yeah. And I think that doing this, like having the podcast itself, I consider a hobby, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
It's that it brings me something positive every month. It's the accountability, getting to hang out with my friend. I think all those things, just those positive interactions, they just build over time, and they change your brain chemistry.
It does.
Yeah.
I really do believe that, because I feel like it's so much easier for me to get into like a meditative state with hobbies now. It's so much easier for me to, like, that mom guilt that I used to have. I don't want to say it's like gone, but I certainly feel it is significantly reduced.
You were pretty like extreme on that. Like you didn't want to leave your kids ever.
Oh,
like,
no.
You were,
the amount of guilt I felt just for like taking a step out to go do anything, I was like, oh my God, I'm so horrible.
I mean, that's a huge change for you. Like, that's life changing.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I think a lot of moms can relate to that, especially when your kids are little. Like, you feel so much guilt, and so that's
Yeah, I do feel like I was going to use the word shackles, but that sounds so awful.
No, but it's
the shackles of guilt, you know, like I do feel like has like significantly reduced for me. Like before, I felt like if I were to put anything on the calendar that was 3 days out, that's 3 days that I was locked in guilt before I even got to the thing that I was going to take the time off for, right? Because I felt guilty for even putting it on the calendar. And then to be actually gone, I was looking for excuses to like hurry up and get back home, because I was like, oh my God, I'm like totally failing as a mom because I'm gone this long. I don't feel that now.
Yeah,
now,
awesome.
Man, I can
huge.
put things on my calendar a month out.
Amazing.
And I'm like, can't wait for that.
It's incredible.
And then when I'm there, I'm enjoying the moment. I'm in the moment. And then I'm happy to put another thing on the schedule.
Well, and you feel so much more balanced in your relationship because like your husband and a lot of people, it's like that where one person just feels more comfortable doing like their hobbies outside of the home. And like, so asking for what you need, you feel more comfortable doing that. Having like just less mom guilt, all those things.
Oh, for sure.
Hobbies are the best.
They're so good. Okay, so, you know, you kind of also talked about the hobbies that kind of stuck around for you. Like, what hobbies do you feel like that you've tried that have stuck around? It'd probably be the more recent ones, right?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, reading for sure, like, has been, I mean, that's been one I've been kind of ongoing, but it's definitely, like, really ramped up in the past year, I'd say. Like, I love to read, and I just like the way it makes me feel and the things I think about. And then the podcast, of course, like I said, like, already talked about that. And then now there's just a physical activity, like exercise, you know, doing the High Rocks, we had the episode about that, but getting more into, like, just fitness in general. I was always an exercise person, but I never, like, I feel like I'm all in now, like, really,
oh my God.
you know.
You've already found another High Rocks to do, right?
Yeah.
You've already done number 2?
I'm going to.
Oh
yeah,
my God,
going to.
it's so wild.
So, and it's just like, and it's just something that's so fun. It's like just true joy, like doing that. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Well, I don't think it's hard to explain because if you want to go ahead and listen to all 2 seasons,
sure. Yeah, right.
We'll explain it.
Yes,
you just got to put in the time.
That's right. But so I guess those were the main 3. And then I mean, I still dabble in, like, occasionally I'll pick up a puzzle. That was one of my hobbies. Like, I still have those things available if I'm ever wanting to just do something very low key. But I do think I've realize that I actually do like the community aspect, you know, and that is a huge part of it too.
That's fantastic. And I feel like you're a very approachable person,
well,
so it makes sense to me that you don't think you are.
But thank you.
No, you're very approachable.
Thank you.
And I feel like it would make sense to me that, like, community would be the next step for you, especially because, like, I feel like as a dentist, like, you were seeing people.
That's true.
How could you not
I'm
be
definitely
tired
missing
at the
that.
end of the day?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Oh yeah. That always drained me, and I always thought because of that, I always thought I was introverted.
Yeah.
And that I didn't want, because like when I was not at work, I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Right. Because you've talked to like 30, 50 people.
Right. But I realized that I don't think that's true. I think it was just, that was draining me.
Oh, yeah. You were doing the community thing for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and then you'd go home and have nothing left for your family. Yeah. Now you're getting that community aspect in, like, more of, like, pocket increments.
Yes.
So you're not tired now. Now you're like, for me, I just think you're super, like, that makes total sense that would be your arena still.
Yeah. Yeah, so super fun. Let's circle back to you.
I was like, we should wrap this episode
Well, no,
up.
I was just going to, I guess, same question to you. What do you feel like hobbies have really stuck with you, and why, if you could reflect on that?
Well, I think anybody who's been to my house prior to me packing it would say Polly Pockets obviously have consumed me. And I think for the Polly Pocket reason is twofold. I think the nostalgia of it, like, I do think I'm somebody who, like, I'm a victim of my generation. We love nostalgia, right? We can't help it. I love the whimsy that comes with it, which is, like, my new favorite word to use for everything right now. I'm really sorry, guys, if I use this word so much in, like, all the episodes going forward. But also, like, the aspect that my sister is also collecting. One of my sisters is collecting with me. It feels like, she was a sister that I didn't get to necessarily grow up with. Yeah. So it feels like I get to kind of play with my sister, you know? So it's kind of like healing an inner child moment for me. So there's, like, a lot of layers to the Polly Pockets. Definitely. I feel like...
who would have thought?
I know. And it's, that's one of those things that, like, I don't think I would have got to if we didn't create this podcast, right? The podcast really did put me on a trajectory that was for the greater good for Tam. And I'm hopeful greater good for most people that listen to this. But I would say that one is, like, the beacon, right? For me, the podcast, obviously, I do consider this my hobby, and I do, like feel like this has healed me just as a person in this chapter of my life, right? And then having the opportunity to do it with you, like, just adds that extra layer, because I feel like I'm learning about myself, I'm learning about my best friend, like the connection I feel like we're making, Erin. I don't know if this is one-sided, but I feel like the connection that, like, we're going through this together just feels like, you know how there's that feeling sometimes where, like, you have those people like when you're in a tough time and they're like, I get it. And you know deep down they kind of really don't, but it's really thoughtful of them to like be there for you and say that, right? Well, I feel like in this particular situation, I feel like you're the person who could say, I get it. Yeah. And I like really honestly feel that you do, right? And so it's comforting to do this with you because I feel like I get to kind of be exposed in a comfortable space with you. Like, you know me, I don't even have social media outside of our podcast, right? Because I'm just a very private person. Surprise. And I feel like I don't think I could have put my voice out there in a world without you by my side, doing it with me, and being as vulnerable with me, right? Because you're right, like there were a lot of times where it was fail, 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 and then there were some times where it's like great success, and like we did that together. Yeah,
I agree. That's a good point.
Yeah, so the podcast has basically been like my Dear Diary, and then having it with you, it just is like it's really nice to have a friend to go through those times with. So those would be like, you know, my top two. And then the third one would probably be like the thrifting and antiquing, you know, and that kind of pulls my Polly Pockets back in, you know, because
you're always on the search for them.
I'm always on the search for them. So it's like I get to do this while I'm looking for my Pollys. And then I also feel like I'm kind of enjoying looking for just like little gems and things, like looking for like old pawn in these places, and things like that. I feel like that kind of, it also kind of feels like I prefer to do it more in like the wintry kind of months as opposed to the summery months, which I'm kind of exploring a little bit now. I feel like it's more something I would keep in the cooler seasons, but still one that I think stuck around. And I think it's because of like the nostalgia piece, and it helps aid my Pollys. Yeah. But those would be the ones that stick around for me.
That's awesome. Well, we would love to hear what everybody else is doing out there or hobbies that have stuck with you. So share that with us on socials.
Are you going to do the new sign-off I invented?
No. I'm going to say thanks for joining us today on The Art of Hobbiness. We enjoyed chatting with you, and hope we gave you some inspiration to try something new.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to The Art of Hobbiness. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review. And for more Erin Tam fun, be sure to follow us on all socials for behind-the-scenes footage on our journey to find hobbiness.